welcome. We are just a few days away from the start of India versus England Test series. India will be led by a new captain, Shubman Gill, during this series to talk about how India is stacked up against England. We have former general manager of cricket of BCCI, also former Indian selector, Saba Karim. Of course, before we start the interview, let me tell all our viewers that you can hear him all through the India-England series on Sony 10.1 and 10.5. Salah, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. The first question really is about Captain Shubman Gill. He is very young. For the first time, he's been made the captain of India. He's off on a big assignment, but he has a very able managerial support in the terms of dressing room. Gautam Gambhir is quite a stalwart. How much responsibility will Gautam Gambhir have to shoulder, and do you think he's going to pretty much call all the shots?
A massive, Rica. I think since this is a team in transition, more so the batting unit, there are so many youngsters and some who have made a comeback, yet it remains a team in transition. So I think that is why the role of head coach Gautam Gambhir becomes instrumental in allowing Shubman Gill to flourish as a captain and as a batter. And I think with the kind of experience Gautam has got as a coach, also as a former international cricketer, he would be well aware of the pressure that a young captain will go through. I think keeping all this in mind, it makes sense for Gautam Gambhir to make that space for Shubman so that he can take decisions on his own and give him that kind of confidence that even if you make a couple of mistakes, it does not matter, and give him that assurance that you're here for a long haul. And if Gautam alongside his support staff can offer that kind of an environment not only to the captain but also to the other team members, I'm sure we do have the right kind of quality in this young Indian side who can go ahead and do well in England, Rika.
Well, while there has been a lot of talk about an inexperienced Indian batting lineup, we've also seen the likes of Karun Nair being selected. He's back into the Indian team. KL Rahul also has warmed up well, so you can't really call them newcomers or greenhorns. Do you see them being a part of playing a very important role in this series, and particularly KL Rahul?
Well, in the absence of Virat Kohli, I think KL Rahul's role is monumental. And I look at him as a batter who can bat a number four. Many people have suggested different batting positions, but I feel that KL Rahul is ideal to replace or to take over the role of Virat Kohli at number four. Because at number four, he can play a dual role of negotiating the early setback if that happens in the Indian side, and then he can carry the innings forward. He does have the right kind of technique. He has done well in England. He has a temperament, and I think over the past season and a half, there is a lot of maturity that has come in. So I think that's the kind of responsibility with the Indian team management along with the captain Shubman Gill has to offer KL Rahul so that he's able to blossom the way he wants to, because he does have the right kind of credentials to do well in England. Karun Nair is making a comeback after so many years. So let's look at him as a newcomer trying to make a mark again at that level. It is not going to be easy because things have changed. The game itself has evolved. Strategies have evolved. So for someone who's making a comeback after so many years, he will need a lot of backing from the Indian side to do well in England. The experience of playing domestic cricket, the experience of scoring tons of runs in domestic cricket, and also in this couple of matches which India played, a couple of practice matches that India played, all that should come in handy. He has the experience of playing county cricket. So if he can remain in that kind of a zone, then I think both these lads from Bangalore should be extremely useful for India's chances.
Sabah, of course, Jasprit Bumrah has said that he is going to be there only for 3 tests of the series. But when you look at the bowling attack overall, there is perhaps great talent. You have Arshdeep Singh, you have the likes of Prasidh Krishna, who's there at the back of a purple cap winning IPL season. Then Harshit Rana is there. Would you really say that this tour is going to be pretty much India's bowling versus England's batting?
Yes, in a big way. many people are not aware of this, or many people may not have discussed this, Rica, because is that the Indian batting is going through a period of transition. So is England's bowling unit. They're very young and a very inexperienced bowling attack. No wonder they had to fall back on Chris Woakes, who will offer them some kind of experience. They've played about 50 odd test matches. But the rest of the squad, Bryden Cars, you have Josh Tongue, you have Sam Cook, you have Jamie Overton, and they have just played a handful of test matches. Someone has played 4 or 5, someone has played a solitary test match. So I think the inexperienced English bowling attack will be under immense pressure. So I feel that if Indian young batting unit can withstand this inexperienced English bowling attack, that will make the series extremely interesting. And you rightly said that India's bowling, I look at it having decent amount of experience with Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, Ravindra Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav, the other 2, 3 pace bowlers. You have Shardul Thakur, you have Prasidh Krishna, you have Akashdeep. Although Prasidh Krishna and Akashdeep have not played many test matches, but they've had fairly excellent experience of playing domestic cricket. So I think I'm not extremely worried about the India's bowling attack. What really not worries me, but there should be a concern is about India's batting attack. So I think the English batting unit looks to be extremely solid, loads of experience of playing on those conditions. Joe Root is in fine form, and if you have the number one Test match batter in your ranks, then obviously you feel so confident.
So between Nitish Kumar Reddy and Shardul Thakur, who would you prefer to be in the team?
I will go with Nitish Reddy because if I have a batting all rounder who can get me 100 coming in at number 6, number 7, with this inexperienced batting attack, I would like to have that kind of cushion in the Indian side at number 7 or number 6. That depends on the batting combination. And someone who can bowl about 8 to 10 overs in a day. That will offer enough rest for your main bowlers to recover and come back for effective spells. So at the beginning, I would like to see this kind of combination, Rika.
It's a new team India, and the experts are talking about a lot of challenges ahead of the team. What, according to you, are the three big challenges before Shubman Gill and company?
Number one challenge for me is sustaining rich vein of form for the Indian batters more so. 5 test matches is huge, Rika. I think I'm not too sure whether we have played any 5 test match series in England or not. Because 5 test matches, if you're not performing well, then it really hits you in the guts. And even if you are performing well, then to continue with the same kind of form is a huge challenge because they have to score runs. The conditions are so adverse and they keep changing. So on top of that, to maintain that kind of form for the entire Test series has to be a biggest challenge for not only Indian batters but all those batters who have played in English conditions. So for me, that is number one. Number two is to find the right kind of balance for Shubman Gill. That also may change. It may vary on availability of play, especially with Jasprit Bumrah. How to find the right kind of balance that can be effective in those conditions. And number three for me, the biggest challenge is for Shubman Gill as a batter. And I think as a batter, if he can perform, then captaincy becomes secondary for me. And I think he can easily fit in the role of a leader. But for him, he needs to focus on his batting. If he can do well right at the top, then I think he'll send a strong message to the opposition as well as to his Indian teammates that here is someone who is trying to earn respect from his own colleagues, and he'll do that on the field also with against opposition.
You know, Joss Butler, who has played with Shubman in Gujarat Titans, who's just been in the side with him, says that he's really a mix of Virat Kohli, the aggressiveness, the boldness of Kohli, coupled with the calmness of Rohit Sharma. The way you have seen him in the run up to this tour, and also before, would you concur with those thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, he has to carve his own identity, though, Rika. I mean, he has learned so much from. I'm sure he has learned so much from, from Virat and Rohit. On top of that, having played in different franchises, so you absorb all these experiences. But you need to make your own mark. And all that can happen if you're your own man. I mean, you need to have your own powers to take decision making, not afraid to take decisions. I think that is how you develop as a leader. But I think having said that, I hope that the Indian selectors and the team management give him enough space to blossom as a leader, Rika. You possibly can't be after him over one or two failures that he's not doing well as a captain, because everybody knows there is going to be a huge challenge. And I think we have seen that in the past at international level. Young captains chosen by the selectors have done well. And the biggest example in front of me is Graham Smith. I think he became the captain, I think, when he was 22, 23. And he went on to become one of the greatest leaders the South African team has ever seen. So, yeah, hopefully, I think this can be a turnaround career for Shubman Gill as a batter and also as a captain.
So, thank you very much for joining us. Well, we will keep watching and listening to you all through the England series. The India versus England tour starts on 28th of June.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rika. We'll
Thank
catch up
you.
soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See
Bye
you.
bye.